The experiment they did to figure out the attachment style theory was they took a baby into a room with their mother, and they would let them play around with toys and something for a bit, and they would tell the mom to leave the room for a minute and come back. And the experiment started when they saw how the baby reacted to their mother coming back. Obviously when you're a baby and your mother leaves you in an alien space, you start crying, you're distressed, right? But then when the mom comes back, what they saw was a lot of babies were consoled by their mom coming back, and they would stop crying soon and go back to playing with the toys. What they saw was that some other babies, and a lot of babies actually, in fact, when their mother came back, they either continued crying, ignored their mother, or they just didn't stop their, or they were ignoring their mother, right? And what they figured out is that some of these babies don't have the best attachment with their mother. When they were going through an emotional need as a baby, you can't really communicate that. And when your mother isn't there for you, you feel like, oh, I can't trust this person with my needs. And they put this into two categories, which is secure attachment and avoidant attachment. And under avoidant, there's three different things that I'll go into later. But, what they figured out was that as a baby, your understanding of the world is very much defined by your interaction with your mother and how often she shows up for your emotional needs. And how that plays out when you get older is that you start thinking of relationships like it was with your mother. If she was never there whenever you were going through a tough time, for example, the babies that completely ignored their mother when they walked in, those babies felt that their mother was either not an important person to feel safe with, could not show care to them. So when those people grow up, they would feel oh, how could I believe in getting care from other people? Or do I even know what care means? Do I even know what love means? Those babies don't even know what love means. And this video is in response to a conversation that I had with two of my friends, Ali and Mon, yesterday. And we were talking about how our relationship with our parents and attachment style theory. And I realized that I don't have the best relationship with my parents. In a very, obviously, external way, we don't talk much, but also a very internal way. I don't really seek care in them, especially when I'm going through a tough time. Either it's me or my friends that I seek care with. And it was just a really big realization of, wow, my mom, I always thought I had a secure attachment with my parents, but I guess it wasn't that secure. And in a way, maybe the blame can fall on them, but as you grow older, you start to be able to change yourself. And to think that I still have that type of attachment style with my parents has been such an obstacle because I can't communicate with them very well anymore. And to bridge that gap of communication, safety, and connection is a really big step to take in a relationship. And, if you're going through something like that where you're having a rough time with your parents or your siblings or just a loved one, and you're just struggling to connect with them, maybe it's important to go back to the basic things, which is your attachment style. Are you avoiding them because you're scared that you can't trust them with your feelings? Do you not even know what it, can you trust them when they say that they care for you, right? And there's so many other questions that I can ask, but going back to the basic things of okay, why am I struggling to connect with this person can be really insightful. So that's my kind of understanding, basic understanding of what attachment style theory is. Hopefully that helped. Hopefully that was an insightful thing for today. To recap, essentially there was this experiment where they put babies and mother in the room, and they measured how the baby reacted, right? And if the baby was consoled by the mom, they had a secure attachment. If the baby avoided the mom and didn't look to the mom for comfort, then they had an avoidant attachment style theory. And as we grow up, these attachment style theories can change. They're not set in stone. And maybe it's time to rethink what your attachment style theory is with your parents. Because, when big things happen, like you go to college and you get independence, you start thinking for yourself, your conversations with your parents completely change. And things that wouldn't matter before matter a lot to you now. And those are really hard things to bridge, hard conversations to bridge. So hopefully that helped. Let me know in the comments if that helped, and thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.